What if I told you there's a simple number, just 2 digits, that holds the secret to doubling your money, and it's not taught in school, not explained by banks, and definitely not whispered by governments? It's called the Rule of 72. And once you understand it, you'll never look at money the same way again. While most people are out there working harder, saving pennies, and hoping for a miracle, the wealthy, they're doing math. Simple math. And they're multiplying their money while everyone else is losing it to inflation, taxes, and bad advice. Let's be honest, most of us were raised with the same financial fairy tale. Go to school, get a job, save what's left, retire someday. But nobody told us the truth. Savings accounts don't make you rich. Working more hours doesn't mean you're building wealth. And if your money isn't growing faster than inflation, you're actually getting poorer every day. That's where the Rule of 72 comes in. It's not magic. It's not a trick. It's pure math, and it's used by the rich, the banks, and the financial elite to grow their money exponentially, while the rest of the world struggles to keep up. In this video, I'm going to show you how the Rule of 72 works, how fast your money can double, and how to use this principle starting today, even if you don't have a lot of money to begin with. Because this isn't about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you've got. And if you're ready to make your money work for you instead of spending your life working for money, then stay with me. Let's dive in. They told you to work hard, save your money, and one day you'd be financially free. But here's the truth. If that worked, every hardworking person would be rich. And we both know that's not the case. You've been lied to. Not maliciously maybe, but systematically. Schools taught you how to memorize facts, not how to grow money. Banks told you to save, while they used your savings to get rich. And the government. Well, they benefit the most when people don't ask questions. There's a reason you've never been taught this one simple number. It's not some complicated formula or Wall Street secret. It's basic math. It's called the Rule of 72. And once you understand it, it will flip your entire financial perspective upside down. This isn't about theory, it's about seeing money for what it really is, a tool, not a trap. The Rule of 72 isn't something hidden in an economics textbook. It's not some top-secret code. It's been around forever, but while the elite use it to double their wealth again and again, the rest of the world is stuck clipping coupons and hoping for a raise. That's not a life, that's survival. This video is your wake-up call, because if you're still thinking saving alone is going to protect your future, you're already falling behind. Inflation is eroding your money every day, and the banks, they're making a fortune while giving you 1% interest. You don't need more hours at work. You need more knowledge. The kind of knowledge that shows you how money actually works. The kind they should have taught you in school, but they didn't. And that's exactly why you're here, because once you see how fast your money can grow and how long it's actually been held back, you'll realize the game was never fair. But now you'll know the rules. Most people are stuck in a loop they never question. You wake up, go to work, get your paycheck, pay the bills, maybe treat yourself to something small, and whatever's left, if anything, goes into a savings account. Then the next month comes, and you do it all over again. That's the financial trap millions are living in. It feels like you're doing everything right. Yet no matter how hard you work, you're never ahead. You're just surviving. And the worst part? The system tells you this is normal, that this is responsible. But here's the truth they never mention. Saving money doesn't make you rich. In fact, it barely protects you. You could double your income, get a promotion, pick up a second job, and still be broke if your money isn't working for you. Because the real trap isn't low income. It's the belief that earning more is the only way to get ahead. The cycle of earn, spend, save, repeat is a hamster wheel. It doesn't lead to wealth, it leads to burnout. What the wealthy understand is simple. Money is a seed. If you just collect it and store it, it dies slowly, eaten away by inflation and time. But if you plant it in the right place, if you put it to work, it grows, it multiplies, and eventually it gives back more than you started with. That's the power of money used wisely. That's the power of making your money grow instead of letting it sit. The system doesn't reward you for saving. It rewards those who invest, who understand how to multiply what they have. That's why the people who look rich often aren't, and the ones who seem quiet about money are usually the ones controlling it. If you're stuck in that cycle right now, know this: the trap is real, but so is the exit. And it starts by changing how you see money, not as something you earn and save, but as something you grow. The Rule of 72 is one of the simplest, most powerful financial tools you'll ever learn, and yet almost nobody is taught it. No spreadsheets, no financial degree required. Just a little common sense and a basic calculator. Here's how it works. Take the number 72 and divide it by the interest rate or return you're getting on your money. The result tells you how many years it will take for your money to double. That's it. That's the formula the wealthy use every day, whether they're investing in real estate, stocks, businesses, or even crypto. Let's break it down. If you're getting a 6% return on your money, divide 72 by 6. That gives you 12. So your money doubles every 12 years. If you're earning 12%, then 72 divided by 12 is 6. That means your money doubles in just 6 years. Now compare that to a savings account giving you 1%. 72 divided by 1 is 72. 72 years to double your money. Think about that. You'd need to be born saving and live a full lifetime just to turn 1,000 into 2,000. That's not wealth building. That's financial sedation. This isn't some complex Wall Street strategy. It's not a secret formula locked in a vault. This is survival math. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. It reveals exactly why the wealthy keep getting wealthier and why the average person struggles to get ahead. Because if your money isn't compounding, it's decaying. If it's not growing, it's shrinking under the weight of inflation and time. The Rule of 72 strips away the illusion. It gives you clarity. You'll stop asking, "How do I save more?" and start asking, "Where can I get the best return?" That's the mindset shift that changes everything. Not someday, not next year, right now. Because once you understand how fast your money could double, watching it sit still becomes unbearable. The Rule of 72 isn't just a neat trick, it's a weapon. And the people who understand it use it every single day to grow their wealth while everyone else is trying to cut coupons and stretch a paycheck. Banks know the Rule of 72. That's why they'll gladly give you 1% on your savings while they turn around and lend your money at 6%, 10%, even 20% through credit cards, mortgages, and loans. They use your money to double theirs, over and over. And you? You get a thank you email and an interest rate that doesn't even beat inflation. The rich don't think in terms of saving. They think in terms of doubling. They're not asking how to protect their money. They're asking how fast it can multiply. When they hear about a 10% return, they're not thinking about the percentage. They're calculating the clock. 7 years. That's how long until my money doubles. They're playing chess while the average person is stuck counting pennies. And here's the truth, bomb no one wants to say out loud. If you're earning 3% on your money and inflation is running at 6%, you're not saving. You're shrinking. Your money is losing value faster than it can grow. You're running a race in reverse, and every year you leave your cash sitting in a low-yield account, you're quietly bleeding wealth. This is why the wealthy keep getting ahead, even when it looks like they're not working as hard. They understand leverage, they understand growth, and most of all, they understand that time is the most valuable asset. Every day your money sits still, it's costing you, and the longer you wait, the harder it gets to catch up. The Rule of 72 isn't optional. It's not something you can afford to ignore. If you don't use it, it will be used against you. The banks already are. The question is, are you ready to flip the script? Inflation is the silent killer of your wealth. It doesn't make headlines like market crashes or layoffs, but it quietly steals your money year after year. Most people don't even notice it happening until it's too late. You go to buy groceries, fill up your gas tank, pay rent, and suddenly everything costs more. But your money? It's still the same number in the bank. What no one tells you is that every year, that number buys less and less. Here's where the rule of 72 comes back into play, but in reverse. If inflation is running at 6% a year, and that's not a stretch in today's world, then 72 divided by 6 tells us your money's purchasing power is cut in half every 12 years. That means the dollars sitting in your bank account today will only buy half as much in just over a decade. That's not a theory, that's math. Let's make it personal. Imagine you've worked hard to save $10,000 for emergencies. It sits in your savings account, earning a measly 1% interest. You feel safe, secure, responsible. But if inflation holds steady at 6%, that emergency fund is worth just $5,000 in real-world buying power after 12 years. You didn't spend it, you didn't lose it, but it shrank right under your nose. This is what most people don't understand. They think they're being smart by playing it safe, but safe isn't safe when the value of your money is evaporating. Inflation is a predator that feeds on stagnant cash. And if your money isn't growing faster than inflation, it's dying slowly, no matter how disciplined your saving habits are. The solution? Make your money move. Make it grow, because inflation doesn't wait. It doesn't care how hard you worked for your money, how long you saved, or what your plans are. If you don't outpace it, it will eat everything you've built, quietly, relentlessly, and by the time you notice, it's already too late. Now that you understand the rule of 72, the next question is obvious. Where should you put your money? Because not all returns are created equal, and if you're serious about building wealth, you need to know the difference between where your money sits and where it grows. Let's start with the most common place people put their savings: the bank. Sounds safe, right? But with a 1% return, it would take 72 years for your money to double. That's not a plan. That's a lifetime sentence. You're not building wealth. You're parking it in a financial coma while inflation eats it alive. Now, let's look at something more dynamic: the stock market. Historically, it's averaged 8 to 10% annually. At those rates, your money doubles in 7 to 9 years. That's not bad, and over time, it compounds. You're not just earning on your initial investment, you're earning on your earnings. That's the game changer. But what if you want to accelerate that growth even more? That's where real estate, business ownership, and digital assets come in. These aren't get-rich-quick schemes, they're wealth engines. With the right strategy, a well-bought rental property or a small online business can return 15%, 20%, even 30% or more annually. At that rate, you're doubling your money every 2 to 5 years, not decades. Years. This isn't about gambling. It's about understanding how compound growth works and positioning your money in vehicles that work harder than you ever could. The people who build serious wealth don't rely on luck. They rely on math. They know the difference between parking money and planting it. So the real question isn't just where your money is, it's how fast it's doubling. Because if your money isn't working harder than inflation, than taxes, than time, it's not working at all. And if it's not working for you, then you'll spend your entire life working for it. Let's make this real. Meet Pedro and Carla. Both start with the exact same amount of money, $10,000. The difference? What they do with it. Pedro plays it safe. He parks his money in a savings account earning 1% interest. He feels responsible, even proud. But let's apply the rule of 72. At 1%, it'll take Pedro 72 years to double his money. That's right, he'll go from $10,000 to $20,000 in a time frame longer than most people work in their entire lives. And during that time, inflation keeps chipping away at his purchasing power. His money may look the same on paper, but it buys less and less with each passing year. Now, let's look at Carla. She also starts with $10,000, but she chooses to invest it. After doing her homework, she finds an opportunity that yields 10% annually. That could be in an index fund, a real estate deal, a small business, or even a digital product. The rule of 72 tells us her money doubles every 7.2 years. In 7 years, Carla's $10,000 becomes $20,000. In 14 years, it's $40,000. After 21 years, it's $80,000. And by year 28, she's sitting on $160,000, all from that initial $10,000. Same starting point, completely different outcome. This is the power of compound growth in action. Carla didn't win the lottery, she didn't inherit wealth, she just understood the math. Pedro followed what most people are taught: save, play it safe, don't take risks. Carla followed what the wealthy do: make your money grow faster than inflation and let time work in your favor. Over time, small decisions make a massive difference. Pedro thought he was protecting his future. Carla built hers. And the gap between them isn't luck, income, or education. It's one number, one rule, one mindset. The rule of 72 made all the difference. Getting started doesn't require a financial windfall or a Wall Street background. You don't need $50,000 sitting in the bank or a finance degree hanging on your wall. What you need is the decision to begin, right now, with whatever you've got. Because waiting for enough money is how most people stay stuck. The truth is, you start with what you have, not with what you wish you had. If you've got $50, you can start learning. If you've got $100, you can begin investing. The vehicles are out there. Index funds are one of the simplest and most accessible ways to grow your money. They track the overall market and give you exposure to hundreds of companies at once. Then there are dividend-paying stocks, companies that not only grow, but share their profits with you regularly. That's income without having to trade more time for it. Prefer something more hands-on? Real estate funds allow you to invest in property without needing to buy the whole building. Or maybe you've got a skill, a story, or a system in your head. Turn that into a digital product. An ebook, a course, a consulting offer. Something that, once created, can generate income again and again without needing to clock in. And yes, small businesses still build big wealth. Whether it's selling a service, flipping items online, or launching a side hustle, there's never been a better time to start small and scale smart. What matters isn't the size of your starting capital, it's the mindset behind it. Are you letting your money sit and shrink, or are you putting it to work? Every wealthy person you've ever heard of started somewhere. They weren't waiting for perfect timing or a big break. They moved with what they had, and the momentum built from there. You don't need more money, you need more movement. The rule of 72 works, but only if you put it into play. Start now, even if it's small, because in the world of compounding, small is never the end. It's just the beginning. Most people have been conditioned to believe that investing is risky, that it's something only the rich can afford to do, or that it's just one bad decision away from losing everything. But here's the reality. The biggest risk is not investing. The idea that you're protecting yourself by keeping your money safe in a savings account is an illusion. Because while your balance may stay the same, its value is quietly decaying. Inflation doesn't ask for permission, it takes. Every year you don't invest is a year you lose to inflation, to missed opportunities, and to the one asset you'll never get back: time. Money sitting still isn't playing it safe. It's committing slow financial suicide. Imagine your money as a seed. If it sits in your pocket, it dries up. If you plant it, water it, give it time, it grows. That's what investing is. It's not a gamble. It's a process, it's a strategy, and it's a necessity. The truth is, the world is moving whether you're ready or not. Markets shift. Opportunities appear. And while others are letting their money grow, your dollars are losing strength by the day. That fear of investing? That's been sold to you by a system that profits from your hesitation. Banks love it when you don't invest. So does inflation. So does time. Not investing is the risk. It's the danger hiding behind the word safety. It's the reason people work 40 years and still can't retire comfortably, because they never put their money to work. They saved, they hoped, and they fell behind. The rule of 72 shows you exactly what's possible when your money grows. But if you ignore it, the opposite happens just as fast. Doubled wealth becomes halved value. Time compounds for the investor, or against the one who sits still. So stop asking, "What if I lose?" and start asking, "What if I never start?" The only thing more dangerous than risking money is watching it die in silence. You've just learned one of the simplest, most powerful tools in personal finance, the Rule of 72. No fluff, no gimmicks, just raw, undeniable math. And now that you know it, you can't unsee it. You see through the myths. You see through the false safety of savings accounts. You see through the illusion that working harder is the only way to get ahead. The Rule of 72 reveals exactly how long it takes for your money to double based on the return you're getting. But more importantly, it shows you how fast time slips away when you're not using your money wisely. This isn't just information, it's a mirror. And now it's time to look straight into it and ask yourself, how fast is your money doubling? Grab a calculator, look at where your money is right now, do the math. Divide 72 by the return you're earning. If that number scares you, good. That's the wake-up call. Because you don't need to be a millionaire to build wealth. You just need to start using what you've got, strategically, intentionally, and with urgency. This isn't something to bookmark for later. Later is how you lose. Later is how time and inflation quietly rob your future. If you're still watching this and you haven't paused to check your own numbers, ask yourself, why? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Or is it just that voice in your head that says, "I'll deal with it someday"? Don't wait for someday. Start today. Learn the Rule of 72. Use it to guide your decisions. Share it with someone who's still stuck in the cycle. Because the moment you apply it, your money stops sitting still. It starts moving, growing, multiplying. And so does your future. Don't just watch this, apply it. Because your wealth, your freedom, and your time, they're not going to wait for you to catch up. Now that you know the Rule of 72, the question isn't if you should use it, it's when. And the answer is right now. You don't need to be rich to start building wealth. You don't need perfect timing or permission. You just need to take what you've learned and move. Because knowledge without action is just another excuse. You've seen how money doubles. You've seen how inflation steals. You've seen how time compounds, for you or against you. Now it's your move. If this opened your eyes, imagine how many people you know are still in the dark. Share this with someone who needs it. Someone who's saving without knowing they're shrinking. Someone who's working hard but not getting ahead. They don't need more hustle. They need this. And if you want to keep learning, if you're ready to break out of the financial trap they never warned you about, subscribe and stay locked in. We're just getting started. Because this isn't about being lucky. It's about being literate, financially, strategically, intentionally. Remember, money doesn't grow by accident, it grows by design. And now you know the blueprint. I'll see you in the next one.